What's happening, guys? Today we're starting a new build series, some tech videos. We're taking an old early 2000s Chevy 2500, my tow rig, and we're gonna put a Super 60 from a 2007 Ford F-250 in the front of this thing, and then we're gonna wheel it. So stay tuned. We'll learn you a couple things along the way as we solid axle swap this early 2000s Chevy pickup. Well, like every good dumb male project, of course, starting this project means I have to finish other projects, namely being this thing weighs about 650 pounds, and I'm here with the boy, and we can't lift that out of there. So we got to drag the gin pole out of the bushes over there, bolt it on the path maker, and get this axle on the ground so we can start figuring out what we got to do to put it under the front of this Chevy. So what is it that we're actually doing here? This project is all about, if you have a 2000 to 2010 Chevy or GM 2500 3500, you know very well how terrible the IFS is on these things. Not good for wheeling, not good for much. But the Ford Corporation happened to make the absolute perfect axle for one of these Chevys. And so you can find out of a 2005 to 2017 SuperDuty, an F-250, F-350, they all have the same axle. And it's driver's side drop. It's the right width. It's got a few things that we have to do along the way, but it's the ultimate 4x4 axle to put in one of these trucks. So if you're curious about how to do that, stay tuned. We got lots of videos we're gonna go through step by step. If you're here and you just are standing in your shop, you really wanna get going on it, click the link. There's gonna be a short one-shot video that gives you all of it, doesn't have all the messing around, and gets you the answers that you need right away. So you can solid axle swap your 2000 to 2010 Chevy or GM. So here's the trucks, here's the axle. So far we're 300 bucks in. Here's a list of what we're getting into. So if you're curious about how to do that, stay tuned. It's taken us a little while to get this far, so you guys get back in to well, how we got to here and get caught up. And while you do that, I'm gonna start cracking some bolts off this thing, and we'll get this project underway. Man. All right, well, this thing was literally in the bushes over there. I built it a couple years ago. We lifted some stuff around the yard. Didn't really do much with it after that point. It's a little bit sketchy. This pipe's a little bit bent. And we're gonna start lifting some valuable stuff. You wanna go that way? Why are we going that way? But it's lunchtime, we gotta go this way. All right, we got things to do, I guess. Well, I can already see a problem. I, of course, welded that piece of steel on there yesterday, and you can see the cable's gonna rub on it. So I'm gonna have to buck a piece out of there. But in the interest of getting this done, let's lift that axle out. Hope I don't wreck my winch rope, and we'll do something about that once we take this off. You can see it's binding on that plate that I didn't want to cut. Ah, this is sketchy. Let's drive the Chevy forward, see if we can get this out from under there. Ah. The next step here is firing up the old Fusion and making myself an axle stand so I can roll the axle around my shop. Got some casters coming from Amazon, so let's go put this on the table, cut one of these out, see if this will hold up that axle decently. Mitt. And I got so excited about unloading the axle, I forgot to show you guys the finished product of the axle stands that I made the other day. I'm not sure if this will be the final version. I'm gonna need another set, but for now, there's 650 pounds worth of Dana 60. It seemed to work pretty good. I made them super beefy at a 1/4 inch plate because I'd like to be able to hold up the whole rig and move it around, make 4 of them, but well, it's definitely overkill for the 600 pound axle, but sure nicer than rolling around on a jack. Big thank you goes out to Tyler, who sent me a message about this thing, asked me if I wanted it. Well, 300 maple leafs, and he even hooked me up with a 14 bolt, and well, I need another shaft and I need another housing for that one. So super stoked on that. Big thanks to Tyler for hooking up the screaming deal on this 60. So let's get this thing cleaned up. Before we touch any of this stuff, let's spray some lube on every single bolt that we can see. Let it soak in a bit. You'll thank me later if you do that. Now you guys who watch all the time are gonna say, what the hell? I'm a deep creep man, but I ran out. So I'm using this stuff. It doesn't smell very good. If you work on really rusty stuff all the time, because you live in the rainforest, you get a real opinion on which is the best penetrant. You can tell she knows it's her last load, because I've never seen a low coolant light before. You be quiet, Chevy. You're gonna love your new life. Your replacement's coming behind us. It seemed fitting that the old girl towed home her replacement. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this truck. It's just hard to go buy a truck all by yourself. So we towed this bad boy home, 2016, 6-liter, crew cab, 4x4. And this thing is the replacement for this one. So that means it's time to get this thing in the shop, cut this front suspension out of it. Let's get into it. Stoked on the new truck. It's a good looking tow rig. So the problem is that this truck is about 20 feet long, and my shop with my workbenches and everything like that, I've only got like 21 feet worth of space in there. So we're in the process, laying out here in the wet gravel, taking this bumper and hitch off. We're gonna take the front bumper off. Hope it gives me another foot of space so we can actually walk around this thing, because, well, I don't want to do the whole sass out here in the gravel. See if we can spin off these super rusty bolts. Drop a whole bunch of crud in my eyes. Big day at Pathmaker Productions. I got myself a hoist. This is what's been holding up all the projects lately, is trying to buy a hoist, trying to buy a used one off the marketplace. I ended up buying a brand spanking new one from a local hardware store. That's a whole different story. But either way, Pathmaker's in the air. Let's get that track bar all cleaned up now. New track bar welded on, and get this thing out of here so we can get that Chevy SAS project started. Super stoked. Do not have to be laying on my back anymore when I'm working on this thing. It's a big day, boys. You always remember your first hoist. Second vehicle I've ever lifted in the hoist. We're gonna put it in backwards. All the work I gotta do on this end, so I figure it makes more sense to be on the outside end of the shop rather than in there for all the grinding. So that's why I backed her in here. It's actually the first day below zero this year. It's cold out there. Closing the goddamn door. First thing we gotta do, get the fluid out of this front diff. So we got a couple of skid plates to get out of the way first. Now these were the stupid metric years for Chevys, so 15 mil. Oh, so much crap is raining down on my head. Whew. Just a bit of a leaker. Now if you want to be super organized, you take the bolts, you drop them in a Ziploc bag, piece of masking tape on it, right? Skid plate on there, then it's easy to find later. In this case, I don't really care because 90% of this is never to be seen ever again. So I'll just put all the bolts in one bin. This is saucier under here than I expected it to be. Turns out it's a 13 mil. And I'm also not hoist fancy enough that I got one of them there tall drain pans. So we get to just stand here and hold this. Couple metal shavings, but most importantly, no big chunks. But also, what do I care? Anybody need a front diff? Alright, we'll let that drain. Alright, next thing on the list, you need literally a 1 13/16 wrench, or 45 mil for this four-wheel drive actuator. Also, when it says 1 13/16 wrench, you know that's going to be a crescent wrench. It's be a lot easier if I didn't have oil dripping right here beside me. Next thing on the list, torsion bars. Looks like 18 mil. We loosen up that bolt with the 18 mil. Now my understanding is I need this torsion removal key tool to take up the tension in the key to get this out, but there's already barely any tension there. So is that literally all I needed this tool for? I don't know if that was worth 30 bucks right there. It's probably a sign that these torsion bars are really sacked out. So we soaked it good in deep creep on both ends. And now let's take the 8-pound persuader and see if we can move it. The plan here is to drive this T-bar out the front, get it off this anchor, and then you put it up the top, and then you drive it back out that way. 25 years of rust on there. Let's see how she goes. Alright, well that doesn't surprise me in the slightest. So literally hours after saying, I'm gonna do this right, I'm gonna do this right now. So that doesn't want to come out. I don't really care about it because when it's selling this stuff, it's going in the scrap bin anyways. So let's bust out the old zippy cutter. Bust this T-bar in two. You gotta take the tension off before you do that, or bad times will happen. Let's cut both these T-bars. Keep dropping stuff off the front end. Torsion bars are both cut. Now let's get the brake system out of the way. We gotta take this fender liner off. You wanna know how these things come off? Oh, you just get your screwdriver in there and work it out. You can do 2 screwdrivers, but watch out because sometimes you mess up. So it looks like that. So pop the center out, pop the middle out, bleed everywhere. So let's take out the other 15 of these damn things. And you might have some of these ones, they're just pushed in. So they're not very easy to get out, actually. Go pilot stealing my tools over there. Oh, the nice big wrench. Thank you. Can you find me some pliers? That's what those ones look like. Don't forget, like I did, that Chevy uses both sides of this thing, so there's wire harnesses on the other side coming out that you gotta push through before you can take this liner out. So much room for activities. So much oil leaking on everything. So we need to remove the brake line. When we get this off, we want to put a cap on the brake line. We don't want to lose all the fluid, because if we do, we have to take it to somebody who has an ABS calibration machine and can put it on there. So I've got some vacuum caps that we'll slap over the end of this hose. It's a 14 mil wrench. So we're just putting a cheap vacuum cap over it so it doesn't lose all its fluid and let air in. 13 mil. Now we need to take this vehicle speed sensor off. First we got to get this push pin out of the way. We want to save this. We can put it on the new axle. Apparently. We're getting there. We took off this. Fender liners. Disconnected ABS, speed sensor, and brake lines. Next up, remove the front drive shaft, sway bar, shocks, steering. Front drive shaft, 11 mil. I sprayed everything with deep creep yesterday to let it all soak in, and that makes a big difference on all this. Then every time I don't do this, I regret that I don't do this. It's worth just putting a wrap of tape around this so the caps fall out. So just for fun, since Chevy's doing that to me, they decided to use, I don't even know what these are called, some kind of weird star fitting that looks like a reverse Torx. So we'll see if my 12.10 mil is gonna work, but what the hell, Chevy? No, that's not gonna work. It's gonna strip real good. 12 point does not work. See what else I got. All right, well, I found these Irwin 3/8 nut extractor. Oh yeah, take that, Chevy. What a beauty day out, too. I was just saying, like, I live on the West Coast, and it's like this, like 6 months of the year. And if you don't like this, then you're gonna hate living here, but born and raised, and I don't mind a good monsoon rain. It's like 2 degrees. This might turn to snow, but for now, we'll keep doing some wrenching. A couple of 21 mils on the shock bolts. 19 mil. Next up is the greasiest thing I've seen yet. That's my steering. So again, these are 21. You always have to be careful with the pick a fork. Pick a fork, work like a charm. Center link. Tie rods drop down. Last thing to take off now is just all the front IFS stuff. Start from the top, work our way down. We'll do these upper 2 bolts first, lower ones, work our way across here until we can drop this entire assembly off of here. 21 mils again. See ya. Ooh. So we got our lower bolt for our control arms. This side's a 22, this side's an 18. What a dumb combo. Which way am I going? Up. Oh, nice. It's almost time to drop this out of here. Now there's 4 bolts holding the T-case in. They're all 21 mil. Those 2 are pretty easy to reach. This one's gonna be a bit of a problem. And then there's one up there. So let's crack those off. Can't get my big breaker bar on this one. Ah. Nice. I don't know if it's the deep creep or what, but these have been loosening off, not bad. God, this truck gets rocking above me a little bit. And I'm still new to having a hoist, and it scares me. God, do I love this breaker bar. This is a 23-inch long. It's just a DeWalt one, but it's like you spend a lot of money sometimes on tools in your shop, and then you know you spend $300 on a tool, you use it once, and you don't really get much bang for your buck out of it. For like the $40 this cost me, and considering how much I work on rusty old junk, it is so nice to have. Crack all the rust. So, highly recommend a 23-inch long, half-inch drive bar. As I'm lowering this bolt, I can see the diff coming with me. So that means we have to lower the hoist here, get it down on the ground, put some jack stands or something underneath it, drop this, pull these bolts out. Okay, those are the upper 2. There's the lower 2. The bolt was hitting one of the bolts on the front axle shaft. So my current problem is this bolt hitting into here. And I don't know if there's a way to sneak it by, because I need that bolt to come out, drop the suspension down. It's so close. I could, and I probably will have to, spin these bolts off, get that shaft out of the way. It would perfectly clear without it, but I'm trying to be lazy, and in the process I'm spending 10 times longer instead of just spinning this off. So as I literally am sitting here talking about this, I'm realizing, like, let's just get the impact gun and go zip, 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 zip. Dummy. Okay, let's do that. So 15 mil. There it is. And there's my bolt. Ha! Winner, winner. Mint. Get out of there. We got that stuff out. Just gotta get this T-case dropped. Then we can start cleaning everything up. Bowler's excited. So what a problem is now is the pinion on the front diff is hitting this cross member here. But I believe if I'm go up a little bit, pry this out forwards, I'll have just enough, we can kind of rotate this and get it to clear. Well, here I am prying on it. And when I realized I didn't actually get that bolt all the way out, because it seems to hit these 2 hard lines. There's not enough room to get it all the way out of the way, which is super duper lame. So let's figure that out, because that's definitely why we're being held back right now. Why'd you put these hard lines here, Chevy? Well, on closer inspection, it looks like it actually only hits this soft line right where it joins in and turns into a hard line, and then it runs towards the back of the motor. It's super greasy, and I also have 3 wire looms right in the way. But seeing as that I don't want to try to take this hard line off, I'm going to see if I, without breaking it, see if I can just push it up out of the way, the 1/4 inch that I need, so that bolt slips by it. Now let's see if we can do some mechanic yoga. So this is pushing on the bolt head. Oh, I think I got it. I think it's finally past that hose. Yeah, I can see the threads. Bingo bango. She's a little bit tight, but we'll get her. It's real close now. We're kind of rotating it downwards as we go. Took a little bit of prying and maneuvering, but it does, I guess, tip out of there. They left this handy dandy notch, so got to figure it out. Let's get the electrical unhooked, get this thing out of the way. So it's a real mystery why I have all these back problems. Like I can't figure it out. Chevy stuff to a good home. All right, we moved the drive shaft, sway bar, shocks, steering. Dropped all the IFS stuff in the diff, removed all the components. Next up, cut the brackets, clean the frame. So far, total, we're at about 7 hours. It's a bit slow, try to film same time, but not too bad. It's looking awfully bare under here. So next thing on the list is to get out the $300 Amazon plasma cutter. We're gonna cut this bracket off, shock tower off, this bracket off. This has gotta go. We've gotta make a decision on where we're gonna cut this exactly. And then we're gonna clean all this up, wrap this video up. So let me throw on some gear, get out the plasma cutter, and let's start burning off some rusty steel. Ugh. So we got a few more things to pop off of here. I undid these 2 bolts, 21 mil. That's this big bracket. That will work out. And then got to get this lower cross member out of the way, and we'll cut it off. These are 18 mil. So, yup. That's where you want to cut all this stuff. Obviously I'm going to clean it up much more with the plasma cutter and then with the angle grinder, but that's passenger side done. Let's jump over to the driver's side and I'll just get this done and we'll do some more frame prep here. It's looking good. You can see I tucked some steel in behind there, a little heat shield so I'm not blasting through. I also ran out the garden hose because I was worried about some of this schmeg lighting on fire. But more and more we can see up into this greasy motor. Wonder if I could find that leak. Either way, time for more cutting on the other side. So there's the big pile of everything that you're cutting out with the plasma. You can do it with a zippy cutter as well, but considering this thing cost me 300 bucks, it's worth every penny for stuff like this. In fact, this one and this one, I cut down either side and then just pried them up, and it actually snapped off at the top because of the rust, which is nice because I didn't want to move these lines because they look a little fragile. Get out the angle grinder, clean this all up. We are getting there. Let me know in the comments if you got any questions, if you got any advice for me. This is literally first time I've done this project on one of these trucks. So I'm learning as I go here. We are 10 hours into the project right now. It was about 7 hours to unbolt all the IFS stuff. It was about 2 hours to plasma cut everything off. And it was about an hour's worth of grinding so far. Using a combination of a zippy cutter to cut the brackets off, and then angle grinder, flapper disc, and a cut wire wheel to clean the rust, the crud, the crap off of here. We got a little bit more to go, but let's wrap this video up for you guys. That is how to unbolt, take off the IFS, and clean up the frame in a 2000 to 2010 Chevy 2500. So stay tuned for next time. Now we're going to make up some frame plates. We're going to make up some coil buckets. We're going to make up panhard mount, trans cross member. We got a whole bunch of things on the list. So stay tuned for the next video here when we start putting this all back together. So thanks for tuning in. If you're in a hurry, check out the short version that has all the steps in one video. Otherwise, let's get to part 2. Get cutting out some steel on the old CNC. Get this thing starting to be a truck again. Thanks everybody. Cheers. Stoked.